Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Luca Motel and I'm a traditional artist based in Wisconsin, USA. Today we're doing Mermaid Day 31, which is jewelry and also the final day. So to start off, I'm masking off all the jewels and chains with Pebeo masking fluid. I'm starting off with the fluid itself, and now I'm using the pen version because it gets much finer details. So yeah, this month I've done 52 mermaids because I did a sketchbook and I wanted to do all the pages, but I ran out of pages, so I had to do 4 extra on just loose paper like this one. The sketchbook has 48 in it, and then plus these 4. So this one is probably the most detailed one I've done. It's got a bunch of little jewel details and I painted them all in myself instead of just using like a gold pen. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. It took a lot longer than my other ones. It's like double the length of the usual ones, or maybe a little less than double. But I really enjoyed it and I really liked the outcome. So yeah, now I'm going in with Imperial Purple by Daniel Smith. I thought it was fitting for something with a bunch of jewels and chains and stuff like that. It's a really pretty granulating purple. Granulates between like a purple and a pink and a little bit of blue. And now I'm painting the mermaid skin with mint green, which is one of my favorite colors in general, but favorite watercolors. And then for the shading, I'm using a mixture of mint green and sea glass, also by Da Vinci. They're both by Da Vinci. I don't think I mentioned that for mint green. Da Vinci makes some interesting colors I haven't seen anywhere else, like peach and mint. And they're incredibly well priced. I highly recommend Da Vinci paints if you're in the States. I don't know how much it is outside of the US, because they are a US made company. So yeah, if you saw all my other mermaids, let me know if you have a favorite, or if you want to go back and watch them all. There are 52 of them, so it's a lot. I think my favorite might still be Koi. I really like that one, but I have a lot of good ones, I think. I did really good this year, in my opinion. Which is great, because I often don't like my art. Like, don't get me wrong, I see flaws with all of them, of course, but overall I really like all of them. So now I'm adding indigo to the hair. I wanted it to be like a bluish but dark color, so indigo it is. Now I'm adding some basic shading to the hair, and then I'll go over it with individual strands. Now I'm doing all those individual strands like I mentioned before to make it really look like hair, and I'm adding some flyaways so it's not so much of a solid shape. I do think I might have made some of the jewelry a little too thin, especially the crown, but I still really like how it looks in the end, so I'm fine with it. It's just a slight annoyance. Now I get to take off all the masking fluid, but first I'm starting with the eyes, trying to keep some of the masking fluid around the eyes there, because there is some overlap. And I'm painting the eyes in with lavender to shade them, and then a purple and a pink for the actual irises. Oh, and I'm adding the gills because I forgot about those, and I didn't want to forget about them altogether. Because how else are you going to know this is a mermaid other than the gills and the ears? Adding a bit of pink Posca for the waterline, and then outlining it with an De La Rowney FW acrylic ink in indigo. I don't like using black, I like using the indigo instead because black is just too harsh in my opinion. It's good for some things, don't get me wrong. But I really like indigo in comparison, although it's kind of hard to tell a difference, I'll be honest. Now it's time to remove all the masking fluid and do the fun part, which is painting all the jewelry with some yellow and some brown, and then white highlights. And the jewels I made red, and then I added some pearls. Now I'm masking off some highlights on the jewels and pearls. And now I get to paint everything, which is kind of therapeutic and kind of fun. You might think it's really tedious, which it is really tedious, but I don't know, I find it fun. Do you like painting tedious things? Are you even a painter? I used to hate painting things like accessories and jewelry because I was frankly bad at them. But I've been practicing a lot lately and I think I've gotten a lot better, and now I actually enjoy painting them. Especially beads and pearls, I think those are really fun to paint. And then I smudged some paint on the ears because of course I did. This part is so fun, adding the darks for the gold really makes it shiny. Of course, adding the highlights in the end makes it really shiny, but adding the highlights and, I guess, shading is just so good. Yeah, definitely let me know what you think of this piece and any other mermaids you remember, if you want to, at least. I would appreciate it anyways. I like interaction. Views are cool, but comments are cooler because it's like having a community. Now I'm just adding shading to all the little beads. Or chains, I guess. Beads, chains, whatever you want to call them. And some shading to the gems. I added some silver pen to the eyes just to make them look cool. And I tried adding some gold around the piece, but it doesn't really show up. And my gold pen is dying, so need to grab a new one. Now I'm removing all those highlights. And of course I spilled white ink on the top of my piece. And now I'm adding in highlights to everywhere else. And sparkles and shines. Although they get a little messy and don't show up in a lot of places, which is unfortunate. This pen isn't the most opaque. It's also De La Rowney FW acrylic ink in white. and it takes a couple layers to really be opaque sometimes, which is unfortunate. But it's fine. So yeah, that about brings us to the end of the piece. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you comment, and I hope to see you again. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.